Okay, so if you've ever seen pictures of Portugal, you've probably seen this place. It's that unbelievable castle sitting way up on a hill, looking like it was pulled straight out of a fairy tale. Today, we are diving deep into the stunningly weird and wonderful Pena Palace.
I mean, that's the real question, isn't it? When you look at it, it just doesn't seem possible. This palace isn't just a pile of bricks and mortar. It's a giant, beautiful puzzle made of history, art, and some seriously big ambitions. So let's get into it and see if we can piece this whole story together.
To really understand the palace, we first got to meet the people who dreamed it up. And this wasn't the work of just one person, or even one generation. Nope, this is a story that unfolded over centuries, shaped by kings, queens, and one particularly artsy prince.
So here's the quick version of its journey. The whole thing kicks off way back in the 15th century. It gets a pretty big update in the 17th. But the real transformation, the one that gives us the palace we know and love today, that all happens in the 19th century. That's when it really gets its personality. It all started with King Dijun I, back in the 1400s. He's the guy who built the first structure on this spot. But get this, it wasn't some big, scary fortress. It was designed to be a peaceful summer home for the royal family. You know, a place to get away from the heat and just enjoy those incredible views. But the real star of our show, the guy who made Pena Palace what it is, arrives in the 19th century. Enter Prince Ferdinand. He looked at the old, crumbling building and didn't see a ruin. He saw a blank canvas. He was a huge fan of Portuguese culture, so he completely reimagined the place, adding the bold colors and the wild, romantic style that defines it now. He was way more than a prince. He was an artist. And it's little details like this that remind you this wasn't just a monument. It was a home. You can almost picture a young Queen Mary II, just a kid, galloping around the grounds on her horse. It adds this amazing human touch to all the grandeur, and it makes the history feel so much more alive. Okay, so how in the world did Prince Ferdinand pull off this totally unique look? Well, the answer is in a very specific and very Portuguese style of architecture. To really get Pena Palace, you first have to understand its blueprint, which is something called the Manuelian style. So, Manuelian style isn't just one thing. It's more like a brilliant mashup. It's a uniquely Portuguese creation that cherry-picks the best ideas from all over the place. You've got the soaring, dramatic structures of Gothic design, the harmony and balance of the Renaissance, and the super intricate patterns of Islamic art. And this is basically the recipe for how it all comes together. You start with a strong foundation of Gothic architecture. Then you layer on all these beautiful Renaissance details and Islamic patterns. Then you add in some crazy, innovative stuff like whimsical turrets and balconies, and you finish it all off with incredibly detailed stone carvings. Put it all together, and bam, you've got Pena Palace. But believe it or not, the castle itself is only half the story. It doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's the crown jewel of this massive, sprawling estate. To really get a sense of its scale, we've got to zoom out and look beyond the palace walls. First off, let's talk height. The palace itself stands about 30 meters tall, which is nearly 100 feet. And since it's perched right on top of a hill, it just completely dominates the skyline. It's this incredible beacon of color you can see for miles around. And it's not just tall. The whole place is vast. The entire estate covers about 10 hectares. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 25 acres. That is a huge amount of land, all of it designed to perfectly complement the palace sitting at its center. And those grounds are basically a kingdom in their own right. They're filled with these incredible gardens, packed with exotic plants and trees, and of course, those stunning views. You'll also find cool historical markers like this giant fountain that honors King Dijun I, tying the whole park back to its deep royal roots. So, what's the role of a fairy tale castle in the 21st century? Well, its story didn't just end when the Portuguese monarchy did. Today, its legacy is more important than ever, and really, it belongs not just to Portugal, but to the whole world. Right now, the palace is a public museum. Its rooms are perfectly preserved, giving all of us, visitors, a direct window into what life was like for the royals and into the rich history and culture of the entire nation. It's basically a living textbook. And its importance is recognized on a global scale. The palace, along with the whole surrounding landscape of Sintra, is an official UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's a huge deal. It means its cultural value is so unique that it's protected for all future generations. And that preservation is a constant, ongoing effort. I mean, a building this complex and historic needs a lot of TLC. The most recent major restoration project was just completed in 2015. It was a massive undertaking to make sure this treasure stays as vibrant and stable as it was in its prime.
And that kind of brings us to the end. Pena Palace really is a testament to history, art, and just pure imagination. This is a place that has already witnessed 500 years of change, which leaves us with one final thought. What new stories will it gather? And what tales will these colorful walls have to tell the world 500 years from now?